Newsroom.
Africa's #1 station for talk.
Law-abiding citizens would like to go about their lives without the fear of attack or people dispossessing them of their possessions.
Practice makes perfect. You cannot be rusty and then go for a man.
For the biggest personalities.
Dr. Ibirunke Thomas joins us via Skype.
He's been selected for Forbes 30 under 30. His name is Inyolua Aboye.
For the strongest opinions.
All Afro has been saying is, implement the agreements as agreed.
For the best sporting comments.
England need a miracle now, else they'll be knocked out of the
They will be knocked out. They will be knocked out.
That will not be a funny.
Your #1 station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And now
A very happy new year to you wherever you are tuned in to the nation's #1 talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Welcome to the very first edition of the Newsroom on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This, should I say blissful? Yes, I would love it to be blissful 2023. Well, it's the weekly show brought to you by the Newsroom of Nigeria Info, where we take a critical look at some of the big stories that have made the rounds in the course of the last 7 days. It's officially 46 days to the presidential elections 2023. And of course, by the 22nd of this month, collection of PVCs will come to an end. Well, Nigerians have been trooping to where they register to actually get their PVCs. But INEC has made it a little simpler, by you, of course, getting to your wards to pick up these PVCs. That will really get us talking on the show this evening. My name is Ufuoma Egbamuno. It's a pleasure to welcome you once again to another bumper package that we've got for you. But just before we get into all the conversations, I've got someone from INEC who will be telling us a couple of things today. We'll be asking questions, and we would also throw the phone lines open because we want you to actually, reach out to our guest on the show today, just in case you have any question, any difficulty in getting your PVCs. For the better part of the last 1 year, one thing we've tried to do on this station is, of course, create that awareness and let you know how much elections have consequence. It's been our slogan, even on our respective news bulletins on this station and our sister stations, that elections have got consequences. And the only way, the absolute only way you can make your voice heard or make your decisions count is by getting your PVCs, because that's the only way you can be allowed to vote in the 2023 general elections. Before we talk about the PVCs, guys, remember you can stream this show on YouTube and on Facebook. And before I get into the conversations and talk with our guest, I would really like to talk a little bit about what went down on Saturday. You will honestly think that after the experience of March last year and all the trauma and all the rigors that those abducted in the Abuja Kaduna train, and all the months we waited, to get things right security wise, and all the supposed CCTVs, and equipment that were bought, you would think that another train abduction would not happen. But sadly, that's what we woke up on Saturday morning and experienced at the Tommy Kimi train station in Igweben, somewhere in Edo State. Over 31 persons kidnapped. The latest news from that angle is that 6 persons have been rescued. The Edo State Police Public Relations Officer Chidi Nwabozo actually confirmed this to our correspondent Onora Aniwobodo, that 6 persons have been rescued, but that's not even up to half. About 31 persons were abducted by the terrorists. 6, so we still got about 25 persons that have not been accounted for. Yes, the security agencies have talked about how they're combing, the areas. But the question still remains, how did we get to this point? Yes, I heard the Nigeria's minister and, of course, the spokesperson of the APC Presidential Council, Festus Keyamo, earlier today, speaking to my colleague, Sheriff Quadri, talking about how, it's not possible to totally eradicate crime. I totally agree with him. Yes, it isn't. But the situation we found ourselves, we can't be talking about not totally eradicating crime, because we've gone from bomb blasts, in respective areas of the country, to these pockets of violence in almost everywhere. It used to be in one particular part of the country at a point in time. Now it feels like the whole country. Today there was violence here in Lagos. Some miscreants, as the police call them, popped up in Ojota and caused chaos. It's happening in Lagos. It's happening in the southwest. We don't even want to talk about what's going on in the southeast, in the middle belt, up north. It's just crazy, crazy atmosphere. And we're going into the elections. Well, that's why our next and most important conversation today is very important. We need to be able to make our voices heard via the polling booth. But you can't do that if you do not collect your PVCs. And of course, as Nigeria counts down to the elections, you have until the 22nd of January this month. It's just a matter of weeks. Today is the 9th. You've got, give or take, 12 days. Make that 11. Okay, 12 days. To go get your PVCs, which will be your passport to go to the polling unit to vote, whoever it is. You decide to vote as the next president. Remember, it's not just about the presidential election. There's a governorship election. There's a House of Assembly elections. There's a state House of Assembly elections. We need to make our voices heard. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We've got the INEC head of voter education and publicity right here in Lagos, Mrs. Adenike Tadashe, joining us on the newsroom this evening. A very good evening to you, Ma. Can you hear me?
Thank you so very much. Good evening.
Good evening, Ma.
Thanks for having me on the program.
Thank you very much for accepting to be on our show. It's one responsibility we've tried over the last 1 year to continue to do, to inform Lagosians in particular and Nigerians in general about what they need to do to be able to, vote come the elections in a matter of weeks. But I need to confirm so that it doesn't sound like I'm the one saying it. Collection of PVCs end on the 22nd of January, right?
You are very correct.
Okay. So, last Friday, INEC went a step further in this whole business of PVC collections. Please, can you explain to us what has started happening since last week Friday?
Well, thank you so very much. I want to say that our negotiations are really, really trooping out. If you could recall, before we devolved the collection of the PVC to the RA level, we were giving out the cards at our local government offices, the 20 local government offices in Lagos. So now, we decided that although this exercise is nationwide, it's not only peculiar to Lagos, it's nationwide. So INEC now decided to take the PVCs closer to people so that they will be able to really troop out to collect their cards. And I want to say that, we devolved the cards on the 6th to the RAs and will be there till 15th January 2023, God willing. Now, I want to put on record that people have been coming out. When we were at the local government, we were recording like 14,000 PVCs given out cut across all the local government offices in Lagos State. But now that we have devolved to the RA level now, our record shows that an average of 40,000 cards are being collected on a daily basis. People are really coming out.
That's massive.
Although, these cards are in two batches, like I normally say. We have the old cards and we have the new cards. But the compilation of the two cards are those ones we are giving out at the RS level now. So now, if I want to give the figure of the PVCs we've collected and the ones we have given out and the balance of what we have as our custody, let me say as at 8 of this January 2023.
That's yesterday.
That was yesterday, yes. The cards we collected from the national headquarters, both the old and new in Lagos State, we collected 7,510,491. So as of yesterday now, we've been able to give out 6,003,117 cards, meaning we still have 1,507,374. But on daily basis, the figure
reduces.
is reducing. Yes. So we have not factored that of today because we always compile at the end of each day. So now, like I said, we always have over 40,000 per day. So if you can have that, even more, 50,000, 60,000 before the end of 15th, and we could remove that, you see that we have a very low balance of this PVC that we see that we have. So we are encouraging our people to please put out the more 2% mass. Our people are there at the local, at the RA level to attend to you. So please avail yourself the opportunity of coming out to collect your card.
All right, just to be clear, for the benefit of those who may not have heard you, Lagos collected just over 7 million PVCs, and as at yesterday, about 6 million, have been collected by the residents, but we still have a balance as at yesterday of just over 1.5 million, right?
Yes.
All right, great. But 1.5 million is still a huge number. Still a very, very huge number.
You know why? Let me explain. I told you we have old and new PVC.
Okay.
The old cards that we collected, for those that registered in between 2011 via the 2019 general election we had. So most of them, those cards, most of them did not come collect the cards because many people might have died.
I think I fall into that category from 2011. I think I fall into that category.
Oh, and some must have relocated and things like that. So that's huge number because the old cards we collected was 6,507,291, and I said that at 8 they collected 5,659,310. So for the old ones, we still have a balance of 910,961. So we now sum it up together to give us the figure of what I just told you.
Okay.
So now, that is why we are still having that huge number. But for the new PVCs, I want to tell you, people are really, really collecting. And the problem we have with our people, some of our registrants, they engage in multiple registration.
Okay.
So now, if they had done that, that means the new registration they embarked upon as their second registration will have been deleted from our database. So meaning they need to come back and collect the card, the old card. Do you understand?
Okay.
Which we are telling our people to come out and collect. And if they don't collect it, definitely their names are no more on the new
voters
for the new ones.
Okay.
So that's what we are telling our people. Please come out. Be it old, be it new, come out. We have all the cards now with us. So they should come out. But then, let me put this straight to our people. I know when you open the line, some will say, yeah, we didn't see our PVC and things like that. For two reasons. Some, very minimal number anyway, some may not get their, if they are having omission. When we embarked on this display of preliminary register of voters, we were there for some weeks. For people to come out to check the correct, we are the arrays that we are in now. We called our people to come out, come and check the correctness of your data. Let us know if your name is not on the register. There might be omission along the line.
Yeah.
So we were telling them then, come out. If they had come out then to tell us that my name is not on the register and things like that, we will have done the correction, we will have printed their cards. So most of them.
But Mrs. Tajer, so sorry to cut you there. Could you all? Is it possible also to maybe to some extent blame INEC for not? Because here's the honest truth. The honest truth is that a lot of persons probably did not get that information. As much as you think you've passed on the message over and over and over again. There are 1,001 people who don't watch TV, who don't listen to radio, who don't have smartphones and don't even go to social media. So there's that possibility that maybe that minute number you're talking about, that didn't come out during the exercise to correct all of these things, probably did not even know.
Okay, then let me now put it to you that before we embarked upon that exercise, we had series of stakeholders meetings, both at the state level and at the local government level, and even to the grassroots. Do you understand? So INEC will never just embark on any program without carrying along the major stakeholders. So and when we are talking about the stakeholders, it's all like encompassing. We have the traditional rulers, we have the CSOs, we have the NGOs, we have the media, we have the PWG. So nobody will claim ignorance of that. Okay. So now, and even at the local government level, in each of our INEC local government, we have those that we call voter education officers. Their own assignment, they need to go to the marketplaces, go to town halls, market outreaches. They use this megaphone to talk, to tell our people, this is what INEC is doing now, this is what. But no matter how, because sensitization can never be enough. Do you understand? And no matter how you embark upon it, some people will still say, and when we were doing that PR with the preliminary register of voters, we were doing it online. The registers were displayed online as well. Do you understand now? Yeah. And displayed at all the registration area offices. And be that as it may, like I said, if you have omission, that does not mean your card will not be printed. So if you go to the local, to the RA, even when we were at the local government, and even at the RA level now, if you go there and your name or your card will not be found, that does not mean they will escalate it to the national headquarters of the commission, because we don't print cards at the state level. Okay. So everything comes from the national headquarters of the commission in Abuja.
So if I get you straight, you're saying that because I'm sure a few persons, I'm even sure, I've heard a few persons, on our respective shows talk about how they went, and their names or their cards were not found. So what you're saying here is there's a possibility there's some error here or there, that all of those complaints will be escalated. Now, does it mean that before the end of the 22nd, that for those persons who have come earlier to make those complaints, that their cards will be printed? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. Now, see, two things. It might be omission, and secondly, some people engage in multiple registration. We have seen a series of examples like that. We ask you, they say, no, this is my first time of registration. No, I did not do multiple. And at the end of the day, when we check our database, we will see that
the database does not lie.
Yes, had engaged in not even double, but multiple registrations. So what are we talking about? That's why we are telling our people, if you come forward, two things. You see that you have engaged in multiple registration and your card is part of the old one. Or there is omission which we have escalated to the national headquarters and your card will be printed. We are telling our people, nobody, please mark my word, nobody will be disenfranchised. All those cards that are omitted, since we are having a records of such and we have been selling them at the national headquarters, we want to tell our people to be rest assured that those cards will be printed. All you need to do, if they say your card is not there, ensure that you fill that form, commission form, which will be escalated to the Abuja. National headquarters of the commission. Yes.
All right. Just in case you just tuned into the station, this is your number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. The program is The Newsroom. My name is Ufuoma Egbamuno. And of course, I've got the INEC Head of Voter Education and Publicity right here in Lagos, Mrs. Adenike Tadashe. She's been, of course, giving us an insight as to these PVC's collection. Mrs. Tadashe, let me ask you. I know that INEC has set this date for registration areas, and wards for just about 9 days or thereabout, from Friday the 6th to Sunday. That's this coming Sunday, the 15th of January. But from what you've told us today, we've noticed that, or you have noticed that the collection of PVCs has gone about 2-3 times higher than what it used to be. Would it not be fair for INEC to just leave the collection at the registration areas till the last day of collection?
Well, it's a good idea, but the financial implication is huge. Like I told you, it's not only peculiar to Lagos, throughout the state. So, and in Lagos State, we have 245 RA and cut across all other. So you can see that the financial implication is very, very enormous. And it's not as if we are ending at that 15th. We are not ending on the 15th. After 15th, that means on the 16th, we are going back
to the local government.
That is when the collection of the cards will continue till the 22nd of January, this 2023.
All right, Lagos, you heard that. It's a lot easier in your registration area because it's a lot closer. For a local government like, let's see, Ojo local government, I used to live in that neighborhood. Ojo local government is a very, very big local government, and I can imagine where the local government headquarters would be and how far it is for the other communities in that local government. Or take another example. What's it called? Ifelodun, Jeremy. That's also another very huge, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, local government in Lagos. So it's a lot tougher or harder, so to speak, going to the local governments. Now, INEC has made it a lot closer to you, your registration area, your wards, which could just be a stone's throw from your house or from your office. So you still have between today and Sunday the 15th of January to go to your registration areas and get those PVCs. At this point, we would like to take phone calls. Let's feel the pulse of Lagosians, guys, and hear what you have to say. If you have a question, if you've got a possible difficulty, now is the time to call us. 0700 993 993 993 0700 993 993 993. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yep.
Good evening.
I can hear you. Good evening.
My name is Wisdom.
Okay, Wisdom.
Good evening to your guest on the line.
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, quick one. My wife has gone to the local government like twice, and she has not been able. All they told her that it's not ready. And when they brought it down to our registration centers, we also went there. Same thing. It's not ready. I don't know what could be the cause. So I don't know. And also,
hold on. And also, hold on just a second. Okay. Did your wife fill the form? Did she fill any form at both the local government or the restaurant?
Yes.
Hopefully, the end of the 22nd, that will escalate to Abuja, and her card most likely will be printed.
Okay.
All right. So you have another question?
Yes, and also when I did mine, I made an objection that my name was not spelled correctly and my date of birth. Okay. And when I collected my PVC, everything remains the same. There was no changes, nothing. Did you actually, when the window was open for corrections, did you actually go to the INEC local government to make those corrections? Yes, I did. I did it myself on the window. When the window was open, I did it myself. I was the one that did my transfer and lost myself, so I did everything myself.
Okay, so just hold on. Just drop the line and then we'll get a response. Hello, ma. Did you hear that? Say that again. Hello. Okay, looks like sadly we have lost contact with the INEC head of voter education and publicity right here in Lagos, Mrs. Adenike Tadashe. We would hope to, of course, get that connection once again. But the last caller was talking about making corrections that needed to be made. But sadly, those corrections, were not done when the cards were eventually printed. To a large extent, guys, I can understand, that sometimes all of these mechanical problems can arise. When you understand the huge number of persons, who have come out to either register or try to make all of these corrections, there's a huge possibility that out of every 1,000, or maybe, I don't know, I'm just giving figures off the top of my head, that we could possibly have one or two issues where things are not done or done properly. Even as we try to establish connection with our guest once again, it's looking a little difficult. But let's see if we can take other calls. Let's see if we can take other calls and then we'll get questions in. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, evening, sir.
What's your name?
Yeah, I'm also Nigerian info.
Yes, you're on to Nigerian info. What's your name?
Okay, I'm Joseph Gabriel by name.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm calling from Intios, a local government here.
Okay.
From all the whole, from all the whole for all the whole local government that is in Lagos State, it's actually the worst because I've been there on the 12th. Sincerely, I'm frustrated, but just because I've decided that no matter what it is, I'm going to vote.
I like that spirit.
2011.
I like that spirit.
2011 down to now. I'm still partaking in this thing, but that itself has frustrated me.
So what exactly is the problem?
Okay, the issue is that from the 12th I've been there. They keep telling me that, okay, first of all, they keep telling me that I should go and come back. Because if they check it, they tell me that they couldn't see it.
Okay.
Then if they tell me that they couldn't see it, then they tell me that, okay, I should come. Then I wonder that what time should I come back? They'll give me a date. Maybe they'll tell me that, okay, so I should check back in 3 or 4 days' time. Or in a week's time. Because I was there since on the 12th, I've been going there. I've been there at least not less than 8 to 9 times now, and I've not gotten my card.
And all this while, did you fill any form?
It was this last one that I did the omission, like about 2 weeks ago that I did the omission, that they said that, okay, so let's escalate it. Okay. So when they escalated the card, escalated my information, they said that, okay, so I should come back in 2 weeks' time, which I went to the art station, which they said they want to be shared because they are not sharing in the local government anymore. Uh-huh. Yeah, so I went there. In fact, I went there today, and they couldn't find it again.
Okay, so
like even the information they even gave us at that time, they gave us like Ilaso Primary School, and I've been going to Ilaso Primary School since on Friday, and they keep telling me that there is nothing happening there. So I have to today take another decision that I need to go back to the local government before I found out that, it was primary school was not actually the right address.
Okay.
So it's just, I don't know.
So have you gone to the right address now?
Yes, I went to the right address today, and they couldn't find my card. So they asked me now to come back on the 20 or 19th, and I'm hearing it today that the exercise will be closed down by that is on the 22nd. So yeah, it's not fair at all because the way if you come to Ethiopia there, you see that there are thousands of cars there haven't been collected. So like I don't understand the way they are doing it in Ethiopia. Whether they are trying to hold people back. There is a time this person someone went from your radio station went to Ethiopia. Actually, Actually, I wasn't around. People talk about speak because a lot of people are scared to actually speak. But if we don't speak out, there will no way we are going to get our country right. How did the government want us to be partaker? That is to contribute to the to them, even to just.
Okay, Gabriel.
Become the problem. Actually, I'm frustrated.
Okay,
and
Gabriel.
I'm really sick and tired of all this.
On behalf of INEC, let me apologize. I can totally get your frustrations, and it's a valid one. But you've been patient enough. I would just ask you to continue to be a little patient. The exercise will move from the registration areas and wards from this Sunday. It will end Sunday at that level, and then from next week Monday, that's a week today, which will be on the 16th, it will move back to the local government areas. So I would ask that you just be a little patient and wait until the 19th that you are actually told. But hopefully we would have Mrs. Tadashe back on the show. Is she back on the show? Welcome back, Ma. Apologies for that little bit of break in transmission. I don't know if you were listening while he went off, but we had a very, very angry Lagosian who called in. He says his name is Gabriel, and he was quite particular about your office at Etiosa. And this is not the first time, that we've got a lot of complaints about the Etiosa local government. Now, he says his card was not found, and he was asked to come over and over again. He went a couple of times before he was now asked to fill a form. He has filled that form and was told to come back after 2 weeks. Well, the 2 weeks has fallen into now that it's no longer the local government, but at the RAs. And he's gone to the location, and still card was not found, and he's been told to come back on the 19th, which is about 2 or 3 days before the expiration of this. What would you say to Gabriel and maybe one or two other persons who have possibly experienced this?
Well, thank you very much. I want to say, Gabriel, to please not be angry with INEC. All those days that he had been going, because we were receiving those PVCs in batches.
Okay.
Yes, it didn't come at
once
a particular time. So we were receiving in batches, fixed meal and things like that. So the officer now thought his cards would have been among the next batch. That was why he was telling
them to come,
Mr. Gabriel, to come back so time. But this time around now, that he has, when maybe the last time he went now, that was when the portal, the online listing was open for our, we have those we call voter PVC desk officers. So we have them in all our 20 local government offices. That is when they now saddle them with the responsibility of filling the omission
forms
online to get it to the national headquarters. So that was when he was now giving that. But let me tell him, once we have escalated to the national headquarters and they have his number, he will definitely be contacted.
Okay.
Even if the 22nd day is no more in existence, they will still get in touch with him. So you should please exercise patience with INEC.
All right. We're running out of time. I would love to get your final thoughts. Sadly, we do not have enough time, but I'm sure one or two other of my colleagues will continue to speak to INEC, as the days go by. Just your final thoughts on these PVC collections.
Yeah, thank you. I want to tell our Lagosians, please, you still have that time now. Please come out, because without the PVC, you will not be able to vote on election day. And even if you don't have the PVC, don't just bother coming out on election day. Because this PVC is your power, it is your right, it is your voice, it is your franchise to ensure that you vote for party or leaders of your choice. So please, avail yourself the opportunity now. We still have at the RA level till 15th, and after that, you go back to the local government. Be rest assured that you will get your card before the expiration of the giving out of the card.
All right. I want to say a big thank you to you, Mrs. Adenike Tadashi, for finding time to join us right here on Nigeria Info.
Pleasure, please. Thank you.
All right. We have been speaking to the INEC head of voter education and publicity right here in Lagos State, Adenike Tadashi, who in the last 30 minutes or thereabout has been able to try to answer one or two questions. I know a lot of persons still want to call. I know a lot of persons still have issues. Not to worry. We will try. It's our civic responsibility, so to speak. We will try as much as we can to get you as much of these information as possible. But just so you know, let me reiterate it again. Elections have consequences. It does. And the only way you can make your vote count is by coming out on the election day starting from February the 25th, 2023 to vote. And the only way you will be able to come out is if you have a PVC. Right now, PVC collections are currently going on in all the registration areas and wards across the state. Not just Lagos State, across the country. So, it's a lot closer to you now. You just be patient. I like one of the callers that called and talked about how he's been frustrated, but he's still insisting because let's tell ourselves the truth. You have the power. It's in your hands. And thank goodness INEC has, come up with innovations to ensure that our votes count this time around. So, the politicians need your votes. They do. That's why they've been going up and down, doing campaigns, and giving us money to air their jingles because they want to reach you. So please, guys, between now and Sunday, yes, they will work weekend, Saturday and Sunday, go and get your PVCs. And after this Sunday, from next week Monday, it moves back to the local government until the 22nd of January. So guys, avail yourselves the opportunity. On behalf of the newsroom, especially the producer of this show, Precious Nena Okon, my name is Ufuoma Egbamuno. Thank you very, very much for hanging out with us. I'll be back again next week Monday for another bumper edition of the newsroom. Stay safe, people.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a